Good evening, friends. Thank you for joining Candid Meena every evening to follow what's happening in India and abroad. And thank you for sending me your useful comments and suggestions. If you believe in this channel, do hit the like button, share with friends, and spread the message. Our only mission is to bring you the truth and both sides of the story. Thank you for your support. Today we have Saffron Tiger back with us. Welcome, Saffron.
Namaskar, Meena ji. I know I was not able to come back on your show for past couple of weeks due to some reasons, but
Yeah,
now I'm excited to have this candid conversation with you after a gap.
yeah. So, welcome. Lots
Thank you.
happening ever since you left. There's been a lot of things happening. And the latest breaking news is that the ED heat is on Jacqueline Fernandez, and they've already attached her 7.24 crore assets, in the Sukesh Chandrasekhar scandal. So that is something. Again, see, I don't know how this woman made so much money because I don't think any of her movies were ever a hit. And most of the time she was more like an item girl, and other times she was seen only walking around with Salman Khan. You know, now the assets attached under the anti-money laundering law in connection with the criminal probe against the alleged conman Sukesh Chandrasekhar. So the ED has provisionally attached assets amounting to rupees 7.24 crores belonging to Jacqueline Fernandez in connection with this money laundering probe and the activities of the conman Suresh Chandrasekhar. Now, apparently, Sukesh had given various gifts worth 5.71 crores to her from the proceeds of crime generated by criminal activities, including extortion. Sukesh had put Pinky Irani, his longtime associate and co accused in this case, to deliver the said gifts to her. In addition to these gifts, Sukesh had also given funds to the tune of US dollars 172,913 and AUD 26,740 to the close family members of Jacqueline Fernandez out of the proceeds of the crime through co accused Avtar Singh Kochar, an established and well known international Hawala operator, is what the ED said. Sukesh had also delivered cash to the tune of rupees 15 lakhs to a scriptwriter on behalf of Jacqueline as advance for writing a script of her web series project. This cash amount has also been attached. The ED has said that Chandrasekhar used to make spoofing calls to people claiming to be a government officer and offering help for a price. Adopting this modus operandi, the ED said Chandrasekhar contacted Aditi Singh, wife of Shivendra Mohan Singh, formerly associated with Ranbaxy and Fortis Healthcare, by impersonating him as Union Home Minister, Union Law Secretary, officer from the Prime Minister's office, and junior officials, and extorted more than 200 crores from her over a period of 1 year on the pretext of contribution to party funds. ED has revealed that Chandrasekhar was running his illegal extortion business from Central Jail, Delhi, in connivance with the jail officials. During the investigation, searches were conducted under PMLA at various premises all over India, and properties seized were bungalows in Chennai, 26 cars, Indian currency, valuables valued at 45 crores approximately. And he also, when he was arrested, he and other 8 people were arrested, including his wife, Lena Maria Paul, who's also an actress, and even filed prosecution complaints. Investigation with regards to the tracing the remaining proceeds of the crime is still in progress. Now, coming back to the point, Saffron, see, one would notice that this woman, Jacqueline, never had really any movies to talk about. And the only, whatever fame she got was walking together with either Akshay Kumar or with Salman Khan, people who liked her very much. And I really wonder how she made so much money, other than Sukesh, because Sukesh would have also given her this money. But otherwise, how do these women, become so rich?
Uh, Ma'am, it doesn't surprise me that name of Jacqueline Fernandez is coming up in association with all these questionable characters, including Mr. Dabang and that conman Sukesh. we get an idea of what kind of associations this woman has had. And this is not new. These associations she has had for a long time, not only with these people, but also some other people and kings of other countries. I think she was associated with a king of, I think, Bahrain or some country
Uh,
long time ago. I think it was
yes,
some
yes, but
country's
yes,
king.
yes.
Yeah.
Some shade, yeah.
Exactly. So you come to know that, like, it's like a quit give and take relationship, right? So they have something to give to these people, and in order she gets all this money, which of course comes from an illegal proceeds and criminal activities, ranging from extortion and hawala and all this black money coming from various money laundering. And it doesn't surprise me that ED is digging into all these details and this dirt is coming out in front of people. I'm pretty sure that there were many other actors and actresses of yesteryears who must have had the same experiences. Like I've like said before on your show, that, like, I knew personally someone whose family works very closely with Dawood Ibrahim, and she has seen a very famous actress who owns a IPL cricket team at Dawood's residence every weekend, if not every day. So this all these things definitely give us an idea that the underworld has had strong connections with all the bigwigs of so-called bigwigs, I would say, of Bollywood, as well as the people in the political circles. That's why people like Polar Bear, Baby Penguin, and Papa Penguin, like, they have to face through all the things that are coming out. And it actually sometimes pains my heart that, like, these things take so long, because it has been going on for a long time now. But at least it's good to see that some of the dirt, if not everything, is coming out. And I'm pretty sure there will be more stuff that will come out eventually. But I think it's all going to take some time. So patience will be the key.
Yeah. Somebody is asking us if we have seen the link to Rohan Rai's interview. So I've not seen it. So I'll please send us the link. Okay, here now, coming back to the topic, Zafran, see, you know how it started? It started with a small rumor, you know, that Jacqueline was going to get married to a very rich man from Chennai, and that they are going to, she's purchased a $1 billion house in the most posh area of Mumbai. So, casually, I was just asking, how do these people make money? I mean, is the income tax people and ED not aware of this? So we were just talking about that and discussing it on social media. Suddenly, a few days later, we see that she has been she's been summoned by the ED. And then she and Nora Fatehi was also summoned. I remember they were summoned, I think, to Delhi. And what happened was they were grilled. And each time, both of them, see how intelligent these two girls are, or they would have been briefed. Both these women were saying that, see, they were just victims, of a con man. So here you see that they are trying to show that they are not at all, they were not, they were fooled into it. You see? So they were not really, part of the thing unless, they were being fooled into it and tricked into it. It is at this time that we saw, pictures of Sukesh and her kissing each other, and intimate pictures of her being leaked into social media. And so he did the trick because he wanted to make sure that if he's going down, he wanted to drag her also into it. But somehow he had some sort of soft feelings for Nora, and he didn't, attack her the way he attacked Jacqueline. So that was happening. So we all know that that's been happening. And also, Saffron, don't forget the fact that she's very, very close to two people, and that's Salman Khan and Akshay. Because I remember there was a small video where someone asked Akshay, who do you like best in the film world? And he said, First he said was, Jacqueline, and then he said Kriti Sanon. So you can make out that they're very, very close. And you know the kind of person Akshay is.
And no wonder that Salman Khan and Akshay Kumar are the two more closest people from the showbiz industry to Jacqueline Fernandez, because obviously they have had favors exchanged between them. And it won't take a genius to understand that, like, given the character and the stature of Jacqueline Fernandez that we have seen, what kind of activities she has been involved in. Now the all of these things are coming out. Obviously playing victim card is not something new. We have seen it multiple times, where be it Jacqueline Fernandez, be it someone else, or even Riya Chakravarti, right? when uh, when she had all these visits to the agency's office, she also played a victim card. You get to see one interesting thing, ma'am, that I have seen is that, like, uh, on a regular day, the kind of costumes, the kind of getup uh, they wear, they put on themselves, is very different from the kind of getup they put on when they visit the agency's office. Be it anybody, be it Riya Chakrabarti, be it Sara Ali Khan, be it Deepika Padukone, you will see that, like, it's all of a hogwash, all of drama that they do to make sure that, like, they portray a picture of innocence in front of the world. But as soon as they are done with the agencies, as soon as they are done with the so-called controversial part of their life, they come back to their old ways. They come back to what they were doing. They will shamelessly post on social media, reveal their body parts, show, like, show very, like, obvious proximity with these superstars. So all these kind of things, I think it's part and parcel of their game. Obviously shamelessly, like you said, like, I saw, like, you were asking that, like, you wonder how come they earn so much money. Obviously this money that they are earning, it's being given for different kind of ill favors, different kind of ill favors that they must have to comply with. Be it like, even if you see Samit Thakkar's pinned tweet thread, you will see that, like, in code words, he has said, like, how an actress slept with a journalist and politicians, and how is this like a very common modus operandi of this Bollywood world, where, like, you have to exchange favors by sleeping with influential people and laundering their money, being part of being face of the world as a front to make sure that the dirty money is swindling in the economy and getting turned into white money.
Yeah. Also, somebody has said the interview it was in News Laundry. And Maya says it was in News Laundry, Rohan Roy vomiting after 2 years hibernation to say that Disha's death, a suicide. Maharashtra government found Disha's parents' letter not successful, and so out comes Rohan desperate. Now, here, what I'd like to tell the viewers is that News Laundry is the most unreliable source, media source, because why I'd like to make you alert on that is because they did, they did it. I hope, Saffron, you were able to hear that what I said.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So why I like to tell you is with proof is that they had run an article on Nilotpal and they had praised him to the skies and said, and even the language of everything was so, very, it was sort of juvenile. And they praised this guy to the skies and said he was doing so much for society. And they tried to project him as a very, a person who contributes a lot. So if that News Laundry media is doing this, then it means that it's all crap, Maya. And also, I think someone else was also telling us about that play with Vihan. Yes. So please do not believe such news media. These are all whitewashing tools, and they're paid heavily to do it.
News Laundry is as like, woke and liberal news channel that, like, to me, News laundry is so left that Rajdeep Sardesai would be on the right of their side. So I think that, like, news laundry, you have correctly pointed out that the questionable smuggler or the so-called politician who had praised himself and was doing chest thumping using news laundry articles in a very juvenile language, which I think was written by himself, because no other news laundry, or, like, would wash the dirty laundry like they did in the smuggler's case so publicly. So I feel that you're right. We should not believe such channels which are promoting fake news, which are portraying the perpetrators or the conspirators or the people who are involved in crimes as in light of a victim, just like Rajdeep Sardesai did when he flew all the way to Mumbai to take an interview of Riya Chakrabarti. Obviously, they have their vested interest. Obviously, when a person of Nilotpal's stature is uh, promoting himself of, like, what all good he has done in public life or in, like, various movements, I think that there are some for certain favors which are being exchanged, or certain money transactions which are involved, like, to in order to promote this agenda. And that's why, like, we are here, like your channel, and I'm sure that if there are any other YouTube channels who are promoting the truth and not shying away from talking about the uncomfortable topics which even general people are not willing to talk about. Like, people always ask me, like, why are you questioning family? You are doing such a good work. We love Candid Meena, we love that show, but we don't like the part where the family is questioned, where the sister is questioned. Poor sister has lost her brother. We understand that, like, they have lost a brother, and there are many families who have lost their loved ones due to this involvement of the cabal. But the way you conduct, the way you send out messages to the people, if you have lost your loved one, I don't think you would be sitting on Twitter and running hashtag campaigns or time, like, taglines. You would be asking the most uncomfortable questions to the government agencies. You would be tagging the politicians who are, like, I don't like to use the word allegedly, but they are involved in the happening of the crime. So that's one reason, like, why I like that, like, we talk about all the uncomfortable things that are not spoken on any other YouTube channel. Ma'am, I can't hear you. You are on mute. I still cannot hear you, ma'am.
Yeah. Play with Vihan says Rohan Rai said in an interview that he did not call Nitish Rani. Now, what is more strange, Saffron, is that just now somebody tagged me in an interview where a friend of Disha, who suddenly appears 2 years later, and he says that how do you know, this is what happened to Disha, implying that Disha had committed suicide. So it's very apparent, as just like what Maya said. Maya said is that when the mother's efforts, the parents' efforts failed, now they're sending the friend and the boyfriend, to give their versions to protect the Mahavikasa Gadi. Now I believe that the biggest problem, more than even SSR, is Disha's death. And this is what is troubling the Mahavikas Agadi most, which means that it is hitting at the heart of someone very close to Mahavikas Agadi, who we all know. So that's why they're now sending the boyfriend, they're sending the friend of Disha and saying that, see, it was a suicide. How do you know that she died after Ekta's birthday party? And yeah, yes.
That is one reason why I do not trust family or any associates of these people who have been murdered. Disha Salian, Sushant Singh Rajput. I don't trust the families anymore, or their friends or their associates, because they all have done a U-turn and the family has not done enough.
Yeah.
I have said this. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for saying this, but I don't care about it, because that's the truth. I won't be running a hashtag campaign if my brother had died on Twitter. I would be asking the most uncomfortable questions. I would be inciting, like, I would be inciting at most discomfort on social media because something heinous has happened with my brother.
Yeah,
I won't be worried about, oh, there's going to be a ground protest or anything of that sort where I'm coming there smiling, taking pictures, clicking pictures, and all those things. I know that people talk on spaces that don't support Saffron Tiger, don't support Meena ma'am, because they have been like going against the family. So I don't trust them. Now, as far as Disha Salian's case is concerned, obviously MVA government is rattled. Why is everybody scared of asking the tough questions? I don't get it. Like, where is the CCTV footage? Where is the CCTV footage? आजकल यार एक छोटी सी दुकान के सामने सीसीटीवी फुटेज लगा रहता है, कोई भी कुछ एक्सीडेंट होता है, कुछ मारपीट होती है, तो देयर इज इट इज यूज्ड एज प्रूफ. आई एम श्योर SSR's place was a like a very posh place where there would have been a CCTV footage.
in
Disha's
fact,
apartment was
at the gate, it's written CCTV footage is there in
exactly,
Sushant's building.
exactly, exactly. So CCTV
Uh,
footage is there as well. Like I don't understand, like why people shy away from asking the tough questions. अरे पूछ के तो देखो क्या होगा, ज्यादा से ज्यादा दो गालियां मिलेगी, but at least your conscience will be clear. Why I don't understand why people blindly support taglines by people who have been involved with perpetrators of Jia Khan
and
murder.
suddenly, Saffron, Crocodile and the smuggler have gone into hiding.
Absolutely, because their motives have become, their motives have been fulfilled, right? Their motives have been fulfilled. Twitter पे followership मिल गई है. We have got enough recognition by coming on Republic's channel. We have got enough recognition that we have done a lot for SSR. We have tweeted and done all this. We have run all these money involved campaigns of posters, billboards planned for Sushant Day, Falana Dhimkana. Shameless people going on birthday of Sushant and dancing there, celebrating his life. That guy was murdered brutally, and you don't have an iota of shame. You go there and on his anniversary, you dance and party. It feels like you are like, it feels like they feel they to me they are like vultures who are like sucking blood out of a carcass. That's what they feel like to me. So suddenly ab unka motive ho gaya. Now there's not like now they have seen that the taglines are being governed and
Done by the
monitored
sister.
by sister. Yeah. So what are they, what else are they going to do? What else are they going to do? So they have conveniently isolated themselves. Now they will, now after seeing this program, perhaps they will tweet for Sushant and show that now they are always there for Sushant and all those things. Somebody told me that the elephant has also removed Sushant. He has stopped following SSR handle. Initially, he used to follow SSR handle. So you see that, like people see through those things. People do see
And
through these
also,
things.
yeah, and also Vikas Singh has got a bigger promotion now, you know.
Uh, as about, like all these people who have used SSR campaign for their own benefit. Tell me one person who has not done a U-turn. Tell me one person. Everyone, every single person has done a U-turn, or either the person has done a U-turn or they have kept quiet on uncomfortable topics.
Yeah,
Everybody. And same thing, like I mean, you tell me, ma'am, like if I am lawyer of Sushant's sister, and if I am fighting for, like, for SSR, and then beyond a point I see that there is not much support I'm getting from the sisters. I'm just saying a possibility. I'm not saying this is the truth, but I'm just saying a possibility. What am I going to do if I'm not a man of upright conscience? I'm going to see that, अरे यार, ये तो इनके घर वाले होके they are not fighting hard enough for SSR. Why the hell should I take that risk? I'm getting my money. I'm getting a big amount that I can put towards buying a bungalow. I am getting enough recognition that I tweet and I get thousands of likes and retweets, and people think that I am doing something for justice for SSR. And then later on, I'm shaking hands with the same criminal cabal that was responsible for murder of SSR, and I am like shamelessly posting it on social media, right?
absolutely.
So beyond the point, everybody has kind of like you get. I can't say this enough that we need to learn. We need to learn how uh, we need to learn how to fight for justice from people like Rabia ji. We need to learn these things from people like Nitish Katara's mom, like Nirbhay's mom. Like, they went hammer and tongs after the judicial authorities. They went hammer and tongs on social media. They made sure that they were properly channelizing the support that they were getting. But what did SSR's family did? They had influential people. They are like, they have a Supreme Court advocate. They have a person who is a very high rank police official. What are they doing? Nothing. They are stopping people from fighting for justice for SSR. And now suddenly this drama of tagline comes in, and they send their stooge to you so that you can participate in the campaigns. They forget that you are an integral part of the campaign, and you are doing what no one else has been doing. You are asking the uncomfortable questions. You are questioning the misdeeds by the characters in the Justice for campaign for SSR. And that's all I have to say about it.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to another piece of news is it's about Shahnaz. Now, why is Shahnaz cozying up with Salman? Because this girl, this girl has been talking a lot about him, and she is also going to be seen in his movie Kabhi Eid, Kabhi Diwali. And before this, she's been paired with Ayush Sharma in the film. Okay, in this movie, sorry, she's going to be paired with Salman Khan's brother-in-law, who is Ayush Sharma. While not much is known about the character and the screen time, it's said that she's quite excited about working with Salman Khan, and she said that Shahnaz, during her stint in Big Boss, she called herself Punjab ki Katrina Kaif. When they first met on stage, the host could not help but smile at her antics. Throughout the season, he seemed to have developed a soft corner for her and kept looking out for her. Even when she had a panic attack in the house, he entered the show to sort out things for her. After Siddharth Shukla's death, Salman was like a pillar of support for her family. And when she came back to Big Boss stage, 50 stage, he was still supporting her. And as per the report, he has Bollywood's Baijan has been quite a big-hearted producer and co-star to Shahnaz Gill. He's not only asked her to decide her remuneration, but has also given her a flexible shoot schedule. Given the actor is also shooting a Punjabi film, Salman has asked the team to schedule the shoot as per her dates. Now, recently at the Baba Siddiqui party, iftar party, also, he was seen, sort of like a mother hen, clucking all around her and taking care of her and protecting her from people. Now, why would he do that to a very ordinary woman? What is the reason? Is it because what we doubted earlier about Siddharth's death, whether it was natural or whether it was a murder? And this woman has been acting rather strangely, saying that she's so close to the mother-in-law and all these sort of things. So I find it very strange. And again, see, friends, I also see you asking questions about Shahnaz, and also the fact that whether these women are actually actresses or they are escorts who are used in parties and for favors. Yes. Back to you, Saffron. Yeah.
I think they are both. They are very good at putting up an innocent face in front of the world, but they, in the background, their real job is that of escorts, which is like, pleasing all these influential people who are also responsible of making or breaking their career. And when innocent people like our beautiful SSR and Siddharth Shukla, they come and are exposed to the realities of the cabal, they do what any honest and fearless person would do. They take on the cabal single handedly. And that's why they end up in the state that they ended. There is absolutely no reason for Salman Khan to protect a commoner like Shehnaz Gill in the manner he is doing. How many of you saw Shehnaz Gill being protected by Salman Khan before Siddharth Shukla's murder? How many of you saw? None. Because these messages are relayed from someone who is also Bap of Salman Khan. And those Baps are residing in Karachi, in Dubai. All these signals, all these messages are relayed from top down, just like how it happens in an organization. The leadership relays some rules, they relay a plan of action, and the employees have to follow it. And that's what these guys are doing. And no better characters than people like Salman Khan, who have a strong social media following, who can change perception of innocent and naive people, who can change perception of obsessed fans. There are so many accounts. You say something about Salman Khan, and if that tweet or if that news or post social media post gets attention, you see how you will be attacked by these bot accounts. Why it is happening? Because there is money involved by the PR agencies, who will go to any extent to ensure that the image of Salman Khan, who had run his car on footpath killing people, who had accidentally shot black buck, they are all clean. That's the image, that's the job of the PR agencies, that's the job of these obsessed fans. And that's why you see that all these Riya Chakrabartis, Shehnaz Gill, and so many more. There was this actor Kunal, from the actor from Dil Hi Dil Mein. Even when he was killed, his girlfriend was there in the house, but she said that she was in the washroom
Yeah.
when he committed suicide, while there were injury marks on his body. His dad says, to this day, his dad says that s- his son was killed and it was not a suicide. Mumbai police said that, oh, while taking his body from the while he was hanging, while taking his body off, those injury marks were done on his chest and his arms. So you can see that, like right from these people, the law enforcement officials are as much as they have as much blood on their hands, like these actresses and these escorts, or anybody who's not speaking, who has lost their conscience, who think that, oh, who was SSR to us? He is not related to us. Why should we fight for him? Let's watch a nice web series. Let's watch this. Let's watch that. Let's promote Bollywood. So that's the thing. That's why I say that, because we are seeing that there is delay in the justice, because things are not moving fast. We see that the people in the movement, they have been tired. They have lost confidence. Some people have questioned, like us, we have questioned the sisters actions. And that's why, moral of the masses, you think about how many people were talking about SSR case, how many people were watching about what was happening in the SSR case 2 years ago, and how many people are watching now. You get a clear difference that, there are a lot of loopholes that have been happening, uh, because of which that there is a delay in justice. And now the situation has come to this point that even there is a small news, we feel like, oh yes, because that's how we are involved, that's how much we are involved in the movement. And even if there is a small thing coming out by ED, we feel that, oh, okay, they are doing their job. But when you file an RTI query, when you ask something uncomfortable to the agencies, the response is very kind of diplomatic.
Absolutely. In fact, Saffron, see, when I talk about Siddharth's, strange death, his strange end, I always get a lot of people, a lot of backlash, lot of trolls, and mostly from a certain community, you know, who say that who are you to judge this woman, or how pure she is, or what she is, blah, 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 blah. I mean, why do they get bothered if anybody even asks a question about Shahnaaz Gill? That means there is an agenda. And what is the agenda? The agenda is that the cabal field these women and use them for a certain purpose. And that's why these women, first they appear fully dressed. Then slowly, slowly, they discard their inhibitions and start dressing, in fewer clothes, uh, right down to the bikini, which is the ultimate aim. Whether it's Janvi or Katrina or Sonakshi or any of these women, Disha Patni. And then you have all these Bollywood silly headlines saying that, you know, internet is on fire because of these women. They're not on fire. The underworld is using them as prostitutes, usually. Okay. Again, I'm saying usually. I'm not saying that these women are, but that seems to be the modus operandi, because these women seem to be used as escorts. You know, and how someone like Riya Chakravarti has survived so far without any movie. What is she doing? Okay, nobody's giving her a movie because nobody, none of the producers feel that if she is in a movie, that movie will become a hit. So that's a very strange thing that's happening.
Wasn't there one movie, a director who took the risk of casting in a movie against
Chehere. But
Amitabh
then they
Bachchan?
kicked her, out, because the moment they put her on the poster, social media was on fire, and they
Okay.
said they will not watch her. Yeah, yeah,
See, ma'am, like two things are very certain. These women, they are used for the carnal pleasures of these political bigwigs and the people in the showbiz industry who have great influence to make and break the career of other people. And then these people, these ladies are used to plant, to be planted, to, like, these ladies are used to get planted in people, in lives of honest people. That thing is done. We have seen that with Riya Chakrabarti and SSR. So it's high time that, like, that these there are open discussions about these people. People are fearlessly talking about it on social media. Many people did in the past, but now not many people are talking about it. People, it's like we have gotten used to it. It's like we have gotten used to the injustice that has been happening for a long time, and that shouldn't be the case. We should be talking about it, we should be tweeting about it. You don't necessarily need a tagline given by a smuggler or a crocodile to run the campaign. They are there for their ulterior motives. They want to make a career in politics, or they want money for their NGOs. It's like vultures sucking blood out of a carcass.
yeah, absolutely. Moving on to another piece of news, there was relief for Shah Rukh Khan. The Gujarat High Court quashes a criminal case against actor in Rais stampede incident. The Gujarat High Court quashed the criminal proceedings against actor Shah Rukh Khan in a lower court at Vadodara, related to the death of a person during a movie promotion event in 2017. So what happened was there was a stampede during the Rise movie promotion in 2017 at the Vadodara railway station. The case pertains to the death of a man at the railway station during the promotional event, and a complaint was filed on behalf of the relatives of the deceased. The complaint was Justice Nikhil Karel allowed Shah Rukh Khan's plea seeking quashing of the criminal case against him and the summons issued against him by the lower court. A petition was filed in the Gujarat High Court seeking dismissal of this complaint. On January 23, 2017, Shah Rukh Khan rode a train to promote his movie Rise. A huge crowd gathered to catch a glimpse of the superstar. Chaos ensued, and the police had to resort to lathi charge to control the crowds. Farheed Khan Pathan, a local politician, suffered a heart attack during the stampede caused by the people who went berserk to see a glimpse of him. There were few others who got injured in the incident. According to a report in PTI, the complaint was filed by a man named Jitendra Solanki, who had moved the Vadodara court seeking the initiation of criminal proceedings against Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, after the police refused to take his complaint and register an FIR against Shah Rukh Khan. Solanki accused SRK of criminal negligence and recklessness for throwing gifts at his fans, which caused the stampede and subsequent death of the person. Now, Shah Rukh Khan's lawyer Mihir Thakur said that throwing smiley balls and t-shirts cannot be considered to be rash or negligent, either endangering human life or personal safety by any stretch of the imagination. Now, in its order, the High Court observed that the complaint against Khan was filed by a person who had no direct connection with the incident in question. So the court also observed that it's required to consider whether it would be fair and justifiable to allow a trial against Khan in Vadodara and inconvenience ordinary citizens of the city. Now, here, what I'd like to say is, this may be one bit of happy news for Shah Rukh because he and his wife have been hiding from photographers ever since Aryan Khan was put in jail for drugs. And he's literally into hiding. Recently, he was taking a private flight and he was at the airport and he used this huge umbrella to cover their faces. Now, one thing I find very, very good is that SSR, without realizing, is taking his vengeance on these people. The very same people who had made fun of him and who had belittled him in every way on stage as well as outside. These were the people who didn't want him in the industry. They wanted him relegated to the TV industry. Now look at what's happening. Shah Rukh Khan doesn't have even the face to look at people or the cameras.
Ma'am, I would say they not only belittled him, they abused him
Yeah.
on stage. They assaulted him on stage. You think that hitting a bottle, glass bottle on his head was part of the script? Yes, it must have been part of the script, but not known to SSR. If you see that video, the way he was hit and his reaction, you can say that SSR was absolutely befuddled when the bottle hit on his head. But given the intelligent man he was, he made it look like he was not affected by it. But any person who is emotionally attached to what happened to SSR would know that, how he was assaulted and abused. So these vultures who are part of the cabal, who are working for the cabal, they did not want him to survive. They did not want him to get promoted. It is all good so long as you are a tier 3 actor working for less money, for Dharma Productions, for Yash Chopra Productions, for YRF Films, where they suck the blood out of you. They make you work day and night and they delay your payments, not only by weeks, sometimes by months, and they make you work more for less money. They squeeze the profits out of you. They make you sign contracts where you cannot work with any other uh, production house. And if you do that, if you get a super hit film with some other production house, they decide plans to sabotage your career. They bring in gay people like Karan Johar and they will cast you in movies which are meant to fail. They will cast you in movies like Drive, which will have a lot of production issues. It will get delayed for releases. But by that time, you have invested so much time, so much effort in that film that you have no other choice. You have said no to other films because you were shooting for this screwed up film called Drive. You are not given the liberty to work on the films you want to. Even if you end up working for some other production house, they harass the distributors, they blackmail them not to distribute this movie. Even if the distributor somehow is able to distribute the film, they will make sure that the film is not getting prime time shows in the theaters. There's screwed up films like Kalank, Brahmastra, and whatnot. I don't know if these films, that film has is yet to release, I think. But those screwed up films get time of 9 p.m. shows, 6 p.m. shows, whereas the other films get matinee shows at 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Nobody watches those films during the week because people are busy with their work. So this is how they sabotage your career. When they see that you are growing up the ladder, they want to they want you to act like a puppet. And you will see, if you see carefully, if you have seen people in Bollywood, you will see a lot of, they will see, I won't take the names, but there are a couple of factors you will see in every film, whether it is related to donation of a sperm, whether it is related to any taboo. You will see an actor who is like, always part of this short heighted actor who is always part of these small budget films and who is towing by their line. But people like SSR who want to do something big, who want to do something different, they make the life so difficult for them. So that's how it is.
It's also very strange that you remember there were stories that when SSR was killed, that his this the killing itself was shown live on dark web, and these were the people who were watching it, you know, and they had also named these people, including these top actors
Yeah,
and
Smita
top
Parekh,
politicians.
Smita Parikh's friend had said that the live streaming was done at Amitabh Bachchan's residence. Where is that Smita, friend of Smita Parikh called Bini Chakrabarti?
Mm,
She went into hiding when I
yeah.
spoke about her
Mm,
in open. That was like a year and a half ago. It was like a long
yeah.
time ago. She's nowhere to be seen. But where are these ladies? Why is Crocodile quiet on those things? Smita Parekh herself has said that she has 24/7 access to Matoshri. People from Aditya Thackeray's government are on the advisory board of her NGO. So Parambir Singh to mera 16 साल पुराना दोस्त है और 15 साल पुराना दोस्त है. All these things she has said, which I think the lawyer had exposed in front of the people. So why is she quiet? Did she give any clarification for that? Why did the smuggler give any clarification that why Jia Khan's, why he was supporting, why he was being promoted by Jia Khan's killers? No, they never spoke on these things. But they want to kill and hang families of genuine people like myself for asking tough questions. That is the thing. They want to stifle our voices. Don't talk against family. Even though family is doing something, maybe family must be under pressure, but don't talk against them. Which you will see some YouTubers not doing conveniently. But that's one thing I like about your channel, Meena ma'am. What is correct, and what is wrong. And that's what you say, not caring about what people will say or how people will judge you
And
or
that's
if
a
you will
subtle.
lose
We
followers.
we never we never criticize any channel. If you've seen, we don't talk about all these people. Even if there will be differences between Sandeep Fogart and me, when when the case against him, by Salman Khan, he won the case. I congratulated him because there's nothing more to it. We're all in this mission together. So there was nothing, and he also thanked me. So what I'm saying is that we're not after people. We are just running our channel to say something and to give a forum for people to talk about it. You know, it's not to build up fiction
I
or
did
show
not know
something
that
that's not there.
I did not know that Sandeep won the case against Salman Khan. But if
Yeah, he
that's what
did.
happened, I think congratulations to Sandeep,
Yes, he did. Yeah.
because I think
So that
there
was
are
a good
people who
news.
are,
Yes, good news
yeah,
because someone trying to show his dadagiri, you know, with these people.
absolutely. And
Yeah,
he won against the powerful people, so that is like a
yeah,
victory in
it's a good
itself.
thing. Yes, yes. Ankita is saying, Saffron, Smita always looks suspicious. And why the sisters needed her company all the time? Is she their spokesperson?
Uh, I think as far as you're talking about Ankita, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
No, Smita, Smita.
Smita. So they are all like, Smita Parekh has like been one of the most I think I would say a very controlling woman in this campaign, who wants people to like, treat her like she's queen of the jungle or something along those lines. She wants to control the narrative. She wants to say that like, she is the one who is like, fighting for SSR, and um, she's the one like, who is driving the movement, right? As if like she is some messiah. Just because you get invited on the few shows by Arnab Goswami does not make you the messiah of any movement, let alone Sushant Singh Rajput's movement. There have been a lot of there has been a lot of questionable news about you, about questionable statements that you have made, that you need to give clarification on, or at least need to apologize for spreading the fake news that SSR was dragged from staircase while getting killed. How the hell can you say such thing? Were you there? Vivekanand Gupta had said that, like, about the pool of blood, that whoever says that there was a pool of blood around SSR, that means that person was present there, because there was no pool of blood. Now she's conveniently saying that that was the statement by Mitu Didi. No, that was not the statement of Mitu Didi. That was your statement, Smita Parik, and you need to give clarification on it. You cannot, like, take money of innocent SSRians and run, like, dance to the tunes of some songs of SSRs on his birthday, while that guy had been, like, brutally murdered by uh, the people whom you had strongly flaunted your associations with.
Absolutely.
You need to come out and give clarification to the people. Don't think that just because people have been following you on Twitter that they don't know about your misdeeds and your shenanigans. If not anyone else, I and Meena ma'am are going to talk about the things, and we will continue to ask you the tough questions, no matter to what extent you ignore us. But there are people watching,
Yeah.
and there is soul of SSR
Yeah.
who
So,
is going to ensure that all of these people who have made a U-turn are brought to book one way or the other.
uh,
There is a question by
Dhavalraj
Dhaval
is
Raj
asking you,
Pillai.
yeah, sir, why has Kangana stopped talking about SSR as she used to?
One of the Mr. Dhaval Raj, it was one of the gimmicks by everyone else. Like, just the way, like, Subramaniam Swami stopped talking about him, just the way Ishkaran Bhandari stopped talking about him, just the way so many people stopped talking about him. Right? I mean, everybody saw that there was an opportunity and banked on it to get their ulterior motives. You remember Dhavalraj ji, when Kangna Ranawat was speaking about SSR, when she had done like a frankly speaking with Arnab, which was like, very publicized and watched by many people. Everybody was praising her. But what was her real agenda? She has her personal differences with the MVA government. So she used SSR. She used SSR to target the MVA government. And what is she doing now? She joined hands with Ekta Kapoor and is hosting that screwed up serial, one of the many.
Yeah.
So you see, like, that's why we say that, like, just because somebody is coming on a mainstream channel and saying something does not make them a good person. You have to, like, see their actions throughout them, and have they taken responsibility. Like I said, like, it is okay to commit mistakes and uh, accept it, correct them. But how many of those have actually done that? People have already always justified their actions one way or the other. So that's one thing that we all need to take cognizance
Also,
of.
the fact that, see, wherever money is there, the Kangana runs towards that. That is the direction, you know. You throw some coins, and these people have reached there. And this is something that I've noticed about Vivek as well. Though the movie Kashmir Files would have been a success, this man is equally the same. I don't find any difference, you know, because if he made so much money, isn't it his duty to contribute something to the Kashmiri Pandits Association? Because he's built a movie around that. He's told their story.
Well, yeah, that's what they say, that, like, if you question him, he will say that at least I made a film that made people aware of it. What have you done? Right? So that's a convenient way of shying away from the tough question.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think hats off to you, Meena ji. Like, you know him, and still, like, uh, if you were a diplomatic person, you would have thought that, like, why should I go against Vivek
Yeah,
Agnihotri? But you did not do that. You questioned him respectfully, that why he's doing it. maybe your association with Vivek Agnihotri ji has hampered to a level,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
you did care about the truth, rather than hampering, rather than your relationship going sore with someone who has done something unethical.
Yeah,
And that's how it is, that's one way, that's why I believe whenever you say that, we believe in truth and believe in showing truth to the people, regardless of how they feel, because it is very important for people to know, what is uh, being shown to them.
yeah,
And if no channel is speaking wrong about those things, then somebody needs to take, like जैसे वो कहते हैं ना हिंदी में, घर की सफाई में हाथ किसी ना किसी के तो गंदे होते हैं. So I think you have taken that responsibility to bring out truth in front of people by getting
yeah.
your hands dirty.
See, what happens is, Saffron, since you said that, see, whenever we do this, I'm attacked a lot in Twitter and attacked by people who have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. So, rather trolled by these people and also trolled by people who are closely connected to a certain politician, you know. So, whenever this lady politician is questioned, she sends her own people behind me, you know. And what prevents us from stopping it is the fact that, see, a lot of our viewers don't know the truth. You and I, what we are doing is we are collating so much of information and putting it together, connecting it and putting it together and saying that, see, if you have a huge drug nexus, you have money laundering, you have women trafficking, you have child trafficking, organ trafficking, okay, you have NGOs, you have underworld, you have politicians, you have Bollywood. This is an entire circle. Each one helps the other. Each one completes the work of the other. And this is very specifically said by Sushant in his diary. Yet, people like the CBI don't want to look at proof. They want to keep quiet. Yes, Saffron.
I want to ask one thing to all the supporters of Smita Parekh. When Smita Parekh said that she has 24 access to Matoshri and she has very good associations with Parambir Singh and people from the Mahavikas Agadi government, you know, if she had, we know that she has said that. There are like clips where she has said that. तो मेरा सवाल ये है कि why am I wrong to think that she is planted by MVA government? Why shouldn't I think that she is planted by MVA government?
Exactly.
When she has not clarified against all the claims she has made, I get it that this was not, she said, this was not something she said in public. This was a part of a phone call, a
Yes.
private conversation where people say things that they won't say in public. कुछ बातें होती है ना कि हम प्राइवेटली बोलते हैं, हम पब्लिकली नहीं बोलते हैं, वो सच होता है, वो सच लोगों के सामने आया है, वो किसने लाया वो छोड़ो बात, वो सच आया है, वो सच के बारे में स्मिता पारेख क्यों नहीं बोल रही है? एंड व्हाई आर वी रॉन्ग इफ वी से दैट शी इज नॉट प्लांटेड बाय शिवसेना?
So Sikkim is saying, I have a childhood photo of crocodile and Paramveer. Someone posted on Twitter.
Please,
In fact,
please
Sikkim
feel free
Tiger,
to
I like Saffron Tiger's cartoons more than all of this.
please feel free to message it to me on Twitter, Sikkim Tiger. Please message it to Saffron Tiger. I would like to see that. So, ma'am, that's why I get it that she said this like a year and a half ago, but there was no clarification on it,
Yeah,
and she should come out. She should say the pool of blood thing was very openly said on Ujwal's channel. Ujwal Trivedi, another character who did U-turn, the same guy who has been interviewing Bollywood bigwigs, very conveniently did U-turn, gained followers in the name of SSR, and now suddenly stopped speaking about it. But what to do? Uh, there are opportunists everywhere, but we need to focus on what is the right thing to do and keep talking about the uncomfortable things, the truth, which is very like difficult to grasp and difficult to digest.
Absolutely. Maya says crocodile could be well planted by a mole by AU to get at the SSR moment. Exactly, Maya.
Exactly,
That's the point. Yeah.
exactly. Because one thing which I don't know if you people know, that crocodile is also very close to family of Salman Khan. Because when Vibhor had gotten that, I think he got a legal notice from Arbaz Khan. I remember that there was a friend called Deblina at that time. She had told me 1 week ago before the thing came, and she was working with Crocodile at that time. She was herself very surprised that how did Crocodile know that uh, Vibhor was going to get a legal notice from Salman Khan's family. So that in itself is another question. Smita Parik, what are your associations with Salman Khan? You should talk about it. You have said enough about SSR and the movement. You have conducted enough events. You have taken money of innocent SSRians. You have danced on the parties which are funded by the innocent SSRians. It's high time you should come out in public and give the hisab kitab of all that money you have spent, all that money you may have earned giving interviews to mainstream media channels. And you should talk about how SSR enhanced your life and how you misused it to spread fake news.
So with
Yes,
that, I think Saffron, we can end this session. Thank you so
yes,
much,
yes.
for taking time and being with us, and thank you from the viewers as well.
Yeah, it was a much very subtle and sublime ending as opposed to the other endings of our show. But nevertheless, I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed talking to you and interacting with all the viewers. It's very great to see, like a like-minded community. So fighting for justice even after such a long time, and we continue to do that until we get justice. And until next time, Minaji, and to all our viewers, Jai Hind. See you soon.
Absolutely. Good night.